Long Horse, Report 1. A horse's skeleton, missing its jaw, legs and ribs. A neck that extends into infinity, and short, stringy hair. Long Horse is terrifying in appearance, and tends to frighten those who run into him by chance. It doesn't help that the creature can always be found near the site of a disaster. It all combines to give Long Horse a bad initial reputation. But the truth is very different from what you might expect. Long Horse is a good creature, an immortal guardian that tries to head off tragedy. Those who pay heed to Long Horse's warning tend to avoid the impending accident that otherwise would have taken their lives. Those who don't, well, their bodies will be found shortly after. Long Horse doesn't only warn about accidents either. It tries to guide people away from dangerous creatures, malicious humans, and one very special type of monstrous creature: siren heads. That vicious, amoral hunter of humans who uses its voice to lure them into isolation or madness, where it will finally attack them. There have been accounts of siren heads seen fighting Long Horse several times in history. Sometimes Long Horse will win, driving away Siren Head and keeping the people alive. Sometimes Siren Head will defeat Long Horse, forcing the Protector to watch as it eats its intended target. But because Long Horse is peaceful and protective, it would rather retreat with Siren Head's target rather than fight. Long Horse will do everything in its power to keep people from entering the hunting ground. It'll struggle to the point where it'll even wrap the person up and drag them away from the hunting ground. The person may become injured from being hauled physically away, but they almost always live, having been pulled out of Siren Head's range. Long Horse can move and extend to what appears to be a near infinite range. The end of its body always vanishes into darkness, with no visible endpoint. The creature understands that its appearance is frightening, and will use that fact to help guide people away from its domain. People tend to hear Long Horse long before they see it, mainly by the clicking motion of its spinal cord. Unlike the spine of a regular horse, Long Horse's spine can bend and contort in multiple directions. The loud snapping noise echoes everywhere. It's quite menacing and instantly draws the attention of those nearby. By contorting its body, Long Horse can change the volume and quality of the sound it produces when popping its spine. Another way to tell the creature is nearby is by its scent. For some reason, Long Horse produces a smell that is similar to spiced cinnamon. This tends to have a calming effect upon those who are panicked, which improves their chances of survival by allowing to think more rationally. When a person realizes Long Horse's intentions and decides to listen to its warning, things become a lot easier. Long Horse will move from shadow to shadow and emerge ahead of the person, giving them a direction to follow that will guide them away from danger. Presumably because the creature can either see everything around it perfectly or has the ability to see ahead into the future. Following the creature, listening to the sounds produced by its body, and smelling the calming, spiced scent. In most scenarios, this will guide a person out of danger. Again, the only exception is during a Siren Head attack. Something about the creature can throw off Long Horse's ability to guide a person to safety. That's why the creature will actually throw itself bodily at the monster. It is possible to attack the Long Horse, though killing it outright is impossible. One can scatter its bones through sheer blunt force, forcing it to pull itself back together. By the time it does so, the intended victim would have time to get away, though doing so would mean ignoring the Long Horse's warnings and running headlong into the arms of death. Taking the bones would potentially be troublesome, since Long Horse will be unable to move normally without its full complement of spinal bones. The missing bone will vibrate and try to escape the grip or confinement holding it. If it fails to do so, it will eventually crumble into fragments and Long Horse will regrow the missing part. This is a time-consuming process and won't complete in time to rescue the intended victim. For this reason, completely destroying Long Horse's body is only a temporary hindrance, as every bone will eventually regenerate. Long Horse can even summon more bones from the darkness from which it emerges, in order to recover fully. It is a time-consuming process, however. Longhorse will protect humans from danger, even those humans who choose to attack it. It will not defend itself. Its very appearance means that something is going wrong in the system. Basically, a very primitive but effective warning device.